We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope.
Science investigates, religion interprets. Science gives man knowledge, which is power. Religion gives man wisdom, which is control. Science deals mainly with facts. Religion deals mainly with values. The two are not rivals.
Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step.
If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way.
Not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great, because greatness is determined by service.
You will change your mind. You will change your looks. You will change your smile, laugh, and ways. But no matter what you change, you will always be you.
There is some good in the worst of us, and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies.
We must learn to live together as brothers, or perish together as fools.
Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend.
True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice.
Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity.
I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear.
Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism, or in the darkness of destructive selfishness.
Let no man pull you so low as to hate him.
A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus.
Only in the darkness can you see the stars.
I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. This is why right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant.
There is some good in the worst of us, and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies.
Those who are not looking for happiness are the most likely to find it, because those who are searching forget that the surest way to be happy is to seek happiness for others.
What is wrong in the world today is that the nations of the world are engaged in a bitter, colossal contest for supremacy.
All progress is precarious, and the solution of one problem brings us face to face with another problem.
All labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance, and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence.
He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love.
When you are right, you cannot be too radical. When you are wrong, you cannot be too conservative.
The hope of a secure and livable world lies with disciplined nonconformists who are dedicated to justice, peace, and brotherhood.
Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a constant attitude.
If physical death is the price that I must pay to free my white brothers and sisters from a permanent death of the spirit, then nothing can be more redemptive.
We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now.
If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward.
I am not interested in power for power's sake, but I'm interested in power that is moral, that is right, and that is good.
We will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends.
A man who won't die for something is not fit to live.
That old law about an eye for an eye leaves everybody blind. The time is always right to do the right thing.
The quality, not the longevity, of one's life is what is important.
Man must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is love.
Never succumb to the temptation of bitterness.
I have a dream that one day little black boys and girls will be holding hands with little white boys and girls.
The art of acceptance is the art of making someone who has just done you a small favor wish that he might have done you a greater one.
Never be afraid to do what's right, especially if the well-being of a person or animal is at stake. Society's punishments are small, compared to the wounds we inflict on our soul, when we look the other way.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
We must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but the positive affirmation of peace.
The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy.
I came to the conclusion that there is an existential moment in your life when you must decide to speak for yourself. Nobody else can speak for you.
It is not enough to say, we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it.
We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear.
Today, we no longer have a choice between violence and non-violence. It is either non-violence or non-existence.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that.
Whatever affects one directly, affects all indirectly. I can never be what I ought to be, until you are what you ought to be. This is the interrelated structure of reality.
People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other.
No one really knows why they are alive until they know what they'd die for.
10,000 fools proclaim themselves into obscurity, while one wise man forgets himself into immortality.
Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle.
Whatever your life's work is, do it well. A man should do his job so well that the living, the dead, and the unborn could do it no better.
Everybody can be great, because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve.
An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity.
We are prone to judge success by the index of our salaries, or the size of our automobiles. rather than by the quality of our service and relationship to mankind.
Out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope.
We must come to see that the end we seek is a society at peace with itself, a society that can live with its conscience.
We must use time creatively, in the knowledge that the time is always ripe to do right.
History will have to record that the greatest tragedy of this period of social transition was not the strident clamor of the bad people, but the appalling silence of the good people.
Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?
There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but he must take it, because his conscience tells him it is right.
Love is not emotional bash, it is not empty sentimentalism. It is the active outpouring of one's whole being, into the being of another.
The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people, but the silence over that by the good people.